Alright, guys, this is going to be another Steven Universe episode review, obviously. And yeah, this episode was pretty fun. This episode was, this was a nice little, a nice little funny episode after the the past three episodes that have their own set of drama and whatnot. I mean, yeah, there was some humor in the previous episode, but I was more creeped out and violated than, and there were some feels in there too. But yeah, we've just had one emotional ass kick beat down after the other. Seriously. This one was a nice little episode to decompress, and it did have its moments of awe in here, but really, it is more of an episode that makes you go, ha ha ha, you see how funny it is? Yeah, you're not gonna laugh the next episode. I have a major feeling that we're not gonna be able to laugh in the next episode. I really don't think that because, yeah, whenever you see a funny episode, a feels episode comes right back around and bites you. Yeah. And this is probably going to... Yeah, the next episode's probably going to be the end of this little arc that's going on. So, the story is that, pretty much, Jamie asked Steven's for help with making a play about the creation of Beach City from Mayor Dewey's great-great-great-grandfather, William Dewey, and Mayor Dewey wrote the play. Problem is, Mayor Dewey, Mayor Dewey is kind of an idiot. He is a complete and total dunce. So, we have that going for us. So, pretty much, Mayor Dewey has written this whole play, and he's pretty much like, hey, look, this play better go exactly as I say, or, I'm cutting you off. I'm cutting this whole production off. And Jamie, after reading the play, which is really ridiculous, he's like, no, I don't want to do this. And he wants to actually add some character drama. And I love how there's a little stab at creative writing in this episode. I really like that. There's a creative stab, like, a character just can't be perfect, every character has their own flaws. And I like that, I really do. I mean, even Superman, as perfect everyone says, he does have flaws. And I'm not talking Man of Steel, I'm talking that even Superman has bad days, It kind of falls back to that writing that every character has their own little personal struggles in everyday life. And I really like that little jab right there. And you can clearly see that throughout not only just the story arc, but throughout the show itself. So I really like that moment. So Steven pretty much goes back to the beach house to look for help, and he runs into Pearl, who's still sulking. And Pearl reveals that she knew who William Dewey was. And I kind of figured after hearing about this. Hearing about the plot of this episode, I was kind of thinking to myself, well, maybe they'll shed some light on Beach City, because the creation of Beach City, and because the gems have been apparently been here longer than the city itself. The city just showed up. The town itself has been around. The gems have probably been here since the end of the Gem Wars. So pretty much, we discover in this episode through the play that William Dewey, along with the crew, accidentally stumbled upon this little batch of land, and they ran into the gems, who pretty much told them, "Hey, we don't want you here because we don't want to be responsible for your death. So beat it." And they turned back, and then storm happened. Actually, a corrupted gem attacked them, and apparently they were rescued by Alexandrite and carried back to the island, and where they were pretty much like, "Look, it's not safe here. But you can build a city here, but we're not going to be responsible for whatever happens to you." And thus Beach City was created. So I like this. I really like how subtle the origin of Beach City is made, and its connection to the gem lifestyle. I really like that, because again, I always wondered what the gems thought of, because they've been here longer than any human from Beach City, and I've always kind of wondered, well, have they all, what did they think when humans first showed up? I doubt it wasn't that pretty, and I'm pretty sure Pearl, there's a part of me thinking that Pearl omitted some details during that whole event. I'm pretty sure it was a little more violent, because whenever people showed up in boats back then, it didn't turn out as nice as we thought it did. Well, we kind of know from history that whenever people showed up in boats, whenever they came to America, it was never a good sign. So I can only imagine that Pearl, at least that's what I think, that Pearl omitted some details, at least that's what I'm thinking here, that Pearl omitted some details that it didn't turn out as nicely as it did. Like, they just said no, like, the gems just said no and they left, only to have a heart. I would imagine that William Dewey and his men kind of had a firefight, and they lost horribly, because alien technology just trumps a, musket rifle. Just saying. So, at least that's what I think. It could be the exact story, because Pearl did write she rewrote the script for the play, and I can only imagine that's probably that she wouldn't want Steven to think that way, or anyone else in the town. So maybe she did omit some details. So that's why I'm kind of under that impression. But yeah, I am kind of wondering, like, maybe we'll get to see more episodes, maybe more serious episodes of them kind of flashing back to the Gems time before they met Greg. I guess you'd call it BG, before Greg, or I don't want to say BS because that's obviously before Steven, but before BS. I might actually go with that. But yeah. Yeah, so with this episode, I really like the story of it, and I really want to see episodes where we really come in contact with the humans kind of interacting with the gems, and maybe this would be an explanation of why they put up a wall. I'd like to see an episode of that where they put up the fence, or maybe they put up a wall and then they downgraded to a fence. I would have liked to have seen something like that, because we do see a picture of the gems way back in So Many Birthdays. We see the gems, even rose quartz, in what it looks like to be the colonial era, at around the same time as when William Dewey and his crew showed up. So I can only imagine that maybe we'll get another episode of them fighting in the Revolutionary War, and maybe Rose is like, God, this is just like our war. I don't want to be part of another one. We're going to seal ourselves off from mankind. We're still going to protect them, but we're not going to deal in human conflicts anymore. So that's what I would like to see. That's what I'd honestly like to see, is like another flashback episode. But this time around, they're actually caught up in a war, and Rose is just mentally devastated by seeing the same kind of carnage she did, and seeing the humans do what they did to them. Basically the humans kill each other the same way that she did. She basically killed her own kind to protect them, from the gems, and now she sees them doing the exact same thing to each other, and that would kind of really mess her up. But yeah, all in all, just another fun episode. I really enjoyed it. But you guys tell me, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you guys like it? Did you guys hate it? Just comment below and let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you guys later.